What if I told you there's a front-wheel drive vehicle out there that not only meets, but exceeds all your expectations of a reliable, yet exhilarating, budget-friendly car? Well, look no further, cause here's 5 reasons my V6 Accords become an almost indispensable part of my daily life. Don't miss out. It may not look like much, but it's fast as frick for what it is, alright? This car is the exact opposite of a BRZ or an 8.6 or FRS or whatever the frick you want to call it. Because those cars look fast, but they could get pulled on by a turkey on crutches. But this bad girl, this car right here would and has put bus lengths on every FRS or BRZ I've raced. And I'm not talking about the short ones. Also, alright, my bad. I know this might be friendly fire, but I have yet to run into even a full bolt-on and tuned SI that could keep up with this car. Even with the weight difference, every Civic I've come across has been thoroughly packed up. These 6.6 Accords don't frick around, especially if you know what you're doing and don't take a smoke break between shifts. I've both beaten and kept up with cars nobody, including myself, would expect this car to even come close to. As a matter of fact, I'm not too shy to say I've probably made a few people sell their cars. What most of y'all don't even know is, all that being said, my car still has 2 cats and it's not tuned. And I was running a hell heat intake up until the Boba Quest video. So my car was pretty much always heat soaked and it was still taking names. The torque, fantastic. This thing, it pulls and it pulls hard. I've had extra strength laxatives that don't even feel as powerful as this Accord, and videos won't do it justice, but I can truthfully say with Scout's honor that this car will put you in the back of your seat when you hit the gas. This little Honda doesn't hook on DWS06 plus extreme contact tires, even in perfect weather. Yeah, it's a coupe, but it's also a grocery getter and a cup cabinet for some reason. This Accord has not 1, not 2, not even 5, but 8 cup holders. Now tell me, Honda, why in the frick would anybody need 8 cup holders in a car that only comfortably fits 2 normal human beings, and 2 of which who are vertically challenged? Who are all those cup holders for? Because I don't know. It's gotten to the point where I've resorted to using all those extra cup holders as storage bins because darn it, I paid for this whole car. Best believe I'ma use the whole car. Groceries? No sweat. Obviously, it's not SUV levels of spaciousness, but for a coupe, unless I'm moving into a new place, it's basically Mary Poppins bag. Pretty much anything and everything I need fits without a fuss. These seats, they're heated, which means I get that toasty warmth reminiscent of a freshly baked Taco Bell fart caressing my backside anytime I please. And it's come in clutch on more occasions than I care to count, to be honest. The gas mileage isn't bad, especially for the way I drive. I could fill up the gas tank, drive 100 miles per hour for close to 3 hours probably, and still have a little gas to spare. And no, I'm not speaking from experience.
Stop the cap.
The only complaint I have when it comes to gas is the price, being that I only run 93, and as of late, the economy's been bending me over and thoroughly but hey, quirks and all, this coupe's got character, man. And if you need a car that's part shopping cart, part cup holder sanctuary, and part cozy fartmobile, look no further. The thing about the 7th gen Accord is it's not really something you see modified that often. Problem is when you do, it usually looks like someone without a fully functioning brain or properly working eyes put it together. So when people see it done well and kept clean, you're almost guaranteed to get comments, conversations, compliments, and or thumbs up a couple of times a week. And yes, that's even with the bad paint. And when cops hear this car blasting down the street, even if you slow down right before you see them, most of the time they wouldn't expect this little Honda Accord to be making all of that noise. Which brings me to my next point. The noise that this car produces is 123.87% guaranteed to induce an eargasm. The worst part about the sound of this car is that videos won't even do this exhaust 10% of the justice it deserves. No joke, I kid you not. As a matter of fact, I put it on my beef and beans when I say this. This car sounds so good that I've had old ladies tell me how good this car sounds. I made sure I did literally 2 weeks of research before putting this exhaust together. together, and no expense was spared. The car itself cost me $5 grand stock, right? But this exhaust alone was almost $1,300 when said and done. That's almost like 30% of what the entire car cost me in just exhaust. When you hear this car, it sounds like power, pure, unadulterated, naturally aspirated VTEC power. Everything was done meticulously to achieve, in my opinion, the absolute best exhaust you could possibly get for this car without it being titanium. This car is complete proof you don't need 60K, rear wheel drive, and 70 million horsepower to have fun, all right? I should of course preface that by saying I took the liberty of deleting all the safety features, which include traction control, stability control, and anti-lock brakes. And oh yeah, and power steering, but honestly, the last one, it's mostly due to the pump going bad and me being too lazy to replace it, but still. So this car is basically a front wheel drive S2000. At least it was, all right, until I went slightly more on the stance side with the wheel setup, then the alignment shat itself, as well as I need new lower ball joints and camber arms. So to be honest, I can't even drive it like 40% as aggressively as I did before I started posting the POVs. But with the modifications I've done, it is still an absolute and utter heap of fun, and it feels like a race car.